Now let's talk about serve targets. Target practice is very important to develop accuracy and consistency on your serve, and you should definitely start to work with targets once you've developed some solid serve technique. But where exactly should you aim and how should you do that? The biggest mistake that I see is that players will place a target in the service box on the other side of the net, and that usually leads to too many serves going in the net because we do look at our target through the net. So I'm a big believer in air targets above the net. So when you set up to hit your serve, you actually pick a spot above the net that you try to hit into, and then if you hit that spot, the serve will automatically go into the location that you want it to go. But let me demonstrate that right now. Alright, now let me explain what I mean with air targets here. If I want to hit a serve down the tee from the deuce court, okay, then I would like the ball to land approximately where that orange little cone is on the other side of the net, okay? But in order to get the ball there, it is much better to pick an air target than to actually look at that orange little cone over there. Because if I look at that orange little cone through the net, I'm looking down and I will tend to miss that serve in the net. If, however, I hit my air target here, for which I've put up the racket, if I manage to hit this target right here, then the rest will take care of itself. The ball will go where I want it to go, okay? And I found that these air targets are a lot more effective. Now, as you can see, I've used a racket here, so you can put a racket in the net for this, but of course then if you hit it, the racket can easily fall out. There are better ways to do this. Our partners at oncourtoffcourt.com, they have some air targets that you can purchase. We can put the links for those underneath the video as well. But you don't necessarily need something here. What you need is, when you set up for the serve, you need to pick your air target, okay? So you set up on the baseline, you want to hit your serve, and then you fixate on your target, and then you can use that, you use an imaginary air target. You don't have to have the racket there, and that way you can use it also every time you play a match. Now let me quickly show you the air target here for a body serve from the deuce court, for example. I just want to give you the general idea. What you have to think about is the flight path of your serve. Excuse me. So as you're hitting your serve, if it crosses the net here approximately, this is not too far from the line here in the middle, okay? But if it's coming in at this angle, it will continue and it will approximately come out where the orange cone is, and then it will approximately come out exactly where your opponent is standing in the corner. So you have to think about the flight path, and then you think about where the ball should be here when it's crossing the net, and that will be approximately here for a body serve. And if we look at a wide serve, it would just be a little further over here, and then the serve would go wide to the target that you want. But of course you have to experiment with your own air targets in order to find the right spots so that you can hit the spots on your serve. Another thing to keep in mind about targets is how close you want to try to hit to the lines, okay? I've put down a ball here, and that's for a serve from the deuce court down the tee from the other side. And I'm guessing that this is approximately the kind of target that somebody like Roger Federer picks, okay? So if he's serving down the tee, flat serve, he may try to aim for here, and then his margin for error may be this small, okay? So most of the serves will then be good serves, and he can keep his high first serve percentage, which is absolutely crucial. You need a high first serve percentage, okay? Trying to go too close to the lines, closer than what you can with your ability, really is not a good strategy. Now, for me, I would probably be a little bit further over, like that, okay, because I'm not as accurate as Roger on the serve. And for you, it may be even further over here this way, so that then you still have a large percentage of your serves that go in when you try to go for these targets. Now, of course, I'm showing you the target here, but the real target you want to use later is the air target. But you simply adjust the air target accordingly, and you'll get a feel for it the more often you use an air target, of how close you can go so that you can keep your first serve percentage up at maybe around 65%. Now let me show you the process of how to aim at your target and then actually hit your serve. A lot of people get this wrong as well. So if I'm set up here in the deuce court, I want to hit a serve. I bounce the ball. I've now decided what I want to hit, so I want to hit a flat serve down the tee, okay? So what I do is I bounce the ball, I set up like this, and now I simply, briefly look at the air target right here, okay? And your opponent will not be able to see this, okay? If you look at the air target here, or for the body serve or the serve out wide, unless you do it really obvious where you turn your head, your opponent should not be able to see this. So you're setting up like this, and from here I can look just like this at all the three targets, and I don't need to turn my head, okay? But that is something to be aware of. You don't want to give that serve away. That's very important, okay? So if you're doing it too obvious, then just be aware of that and change that, okay? So what you do is you bounce the ball, you set up here, so I pick my air target, and now I've fixated that air target, but then I take my focus away and I just focus on the execution of the serve. I simply, from the idea, I let the rest take care of itself. I focus on the motion, whatever I want to focus on, okay? I don't continue to focus on that air target. So I just fixate it once, so I bounce the ball, now I look at it, and then I toss the ball and hit the serve.
Do you struggle to get enough power on your own serve? In my latest serve training program, I reveal the most common problems club level players like yourself have on the serve and how you can fix them. It really all comes down to two key serve power movements that you have to master in order to serve with a lot of power. To find out more about these two key serve power moves, click inside this video right now.